Britain has fallen into recession for the first time in 11 years. The economy shrank by a record 20.4% in the second quarter, driven by the COVID-19 lockdown. It's the worst performing country in the EU, exceeding Spain's contraction of 18.5%.
Well, when we were talking about this a few months ago, I said that hard times were coming, and today's figures show that hard times are here. Hundreds of thousands of people have already lost their job, and sadly, many more will. But I will say to people, although tough decisions lie ahead for all of us, no one will be left without hope or opportunity.
Ollie Barrett joins us live from London for more on this. Ollie, a historic recession for the UK.
It absolutely is unprecedented, these numbers that we are looking at. Unprecedented, an overused word, but it certainly applies in this case. And in terms of why the UK's economy appears to have been, up to now, affected worse than almost any other when it comes to developed nations, there are a number of potential reasons. One thing that people are looking at is the fact that the UK locked down for longer than some other countries, and in a more strict way than some other countries, despite the fact that some critics say the UK government locked down late. Other reasons include high labour market participation for parents, and those parents who were trying to educate their children at home weren't able, of course, to find childcare. That has been a particularly difficult time for them, and therefore for the UK economy in which they participate, but also the UK economy's reliance on what you might call face-to-face services, consumer spending, restaurants, retail, leisure. The UK economy really does depend on services, and many of those services were almost completely locked down during that lockdown period.
So what does this mean for Brexit then?
Well, you know, there are some in government who felt that actually going through such an enormously difficult economic time, headwinds all around the economy due to the coronavirus pandemic. There are some in the UK government who felt that actually that means that adding one more headache to it in the sense of a no-deal Brexit at the end of the transition period wouldn't add too much distortion on top of what was already happening. There are others, by the way, in government who think that that is absolute madness, and that the UK must now secure a trade deal by the end of the year so that trade and economic relations with the European Union can be as smooth as possible. Certainly at the top of government, Boris Johnson does want to try and reach a deal with the European Union by the end of the year. Whether that's possible or not remains to be seen. Certainly what all of this economic difficulty and, of course, the lockdown itself have meant is that those trade negotiations with the European Union have been more complicated than they might otherwise have been, with some of the talks not taking place face-to-face, for example. So it's certainly been a huge complicating factor. And the UK government knows that it will be judged on its economic record. So it may well not want to add further economic disruption to what we're already seeing.
All right, thanks for that. Ollie Barrett speaking to us from London.